All right, everybody. Here we are again with an interview with the one and only Anders Eriksson, owner and director of tennis operations for the Polo Club in Dripping Springs, Texas / Austin, Texas. So we'll get started. First question, young man. With all of the COVID and all of the changes, what's one of the big things that you had to do for all the closing and the opening and restarting and stopping and with the COVID situation? Anything come to mind?
Well, we had to follow all the directions from all the health departments around, but the one thing we stayed in very close contact with the Dripping Springs or Hayes County city, so we made some adjustments when it came to all our programs. We went from larger groups to divide them into groups of 10 or less. And we actually, the day after all this kind of happened, we started with smaller groups. We started at about 7 a.m, and we used to continue with our junior programs all the way to 7 o'clock at night. But they were all divided into small groups, and we went about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we just continued going throughout the day. So that helped a lot. And we were always 2 players per court. Wow. And so that was our immediate thing. And very similar, we did the same thing with our ladies as well. We broke it into smaller groups, but everything continued as normal. We did, at the club, we did remove water and self-serving stations on courts, and we shut down the shop. We had basically an attendant in the shop who checked in player one at a time. Is basically, if you had to go to the bathrooms, it was one go, one wait in line, and then we just let him in the shop. So we did that for a long time until they decided to reopen pro shops and gyms. And one thing we did immediately when we reopened the gym, we actually, on our reservation system for our club members, they could sign up for a piece of equipment if they needed it for 30 minutes. So we know we never have more than 5 people in the gym at the time. Very controlled environment.
Yeah, wow, that's over and above. I think that's really neat how you all did that. Is there one thing that you guys changed in terms of your programming? I mean, you mentioned the smaller groups and spreading them out throughout the day. Is there any other hot tip for other providers trying to operate under these conditions that you did in programming, in terms of maybe equipment or anything else that you can think of?
Well, so things kind of changed and evolved, but we removed benches from the courts. We had our hand sanitizers out, under our pavilion next to the courts. And then washing hands and all that kind of stuff. And now my phone is ringing here for a tournament. But when it came to the program, it was pretty direct that small groups. And once one group was done, there was maybe a little bit of a time overlap for the next group to come in. So we just try to keep the facility, spread out and use every minute of the day to get all the programs in.
Yeah. Here's a question that's just off the top. This will be my last one for you here. Get you back to your tournament. How about digital, any of the technology going on? You said people could sign up for equipment, but have you ventured into any virtual lessons or sessions of any kind yet? Or maybe even with your staff, when you're working with your staff anytime?
Yeah, no. So we decided not to do that. We all our pros, continued operating, and we saw one program in particular that dropped, and that was our 10 and under kids, but they're back up running now. But we just continued, and whether we had 3 kids out or 8 kids out, we just continued doing what we could and keeping social distancing and all that. But one thing with our members, they were very excited and happy to being out playing, because one of the things was they said the mental aspect of actually being out and getting fresh air and getting some exercise
Yeah.
They save their day, and a lot of our men. I mean, they've been playing more tennis than ever. I see them out 3-4 times a week, and I usually see them once a week. But the mental aspect of this whole thing, allowing the members to be out, or players in general be out and actually exercising outside, has been a blessing.
Wow. Well, hey, I'll let you get back to it, Anders. Thank you so much. I know you're running a tournament. You've got some weather issues, and you're the master of everything, man. So love it, and really appreciate you taking time to talk to me.
I appreciate it, Mike. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Bye-bye.